Alexa, turn off lights.
A few things share the name lights. Which one do you want?
Office light. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Somehow the microphone got muted and everything. Dark. I need a better webcam or something. How's it going on, Natural Balance Farms? Yeah, I decided to try to work out these kinks before we do our real main live feed at the end of this month. Well, I was going to try to do some videos this morning, but it got hot real quick. So I'll probably have to do it when it gets a little bit cooler, or maybe even tonight for tomorrow's video. I think everything is going better now. I just got to fix the lighting. I think everything is going better. Lighting in here now. Yeah, it's definitely getting hotter quick. I was gonna make a drying rack for a drying slash curing rack for Mrs. Naked Gardener, and I might have to do it later. What's going on, Samson Farms? Testing. Yeah, it's a little dark. I might have to go into the other room. Glad we're testing these things out now. Let's see how this other room looks like. Can I do it? Might be able to do it here. See how this is. Is this better? Oh, this is still kind of dark too. I might just need a new webcam. I'm gonna have to get a webcam or something. Yeah, I think I just messed it up even more. Yeah, that was when I was back in my old Air Force days when I was a recruiter and all. Man, this light, maybe if I move this table up some. Watch out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna need to get a new webcam. I'm gonna have to try this out. How you been doing, Samson Farm? Where are you located at? I recruited a few civil air patrol when I was out in Beaumont, Tennessee. Hey, Jerry and Todd, what's going on? Read with yourself. I was just watching your channel, your video about the spider at the gym this morning. Tennessee. How's the weather out there in Tennessee? We're about to tear down way better than today. What's going on, John? Miss you on your videos, man. How's y'all garden turning out? Yeah, we're about to get rid of all our tomatoes out in our area, in our garden here. Hopefully by the end of this month, we could take down our shade fabric cloth off of our garden and start our seedlings on our fall garden this week. We got a lot of seeds to start. Yeah, I'm jealous of your backyard, John. You got a big backyard. Ours isn't as big. The only good thing about ours is this: I don't like spiders. The only good thing about this yard is we're learning of what we can and can't grow. We noticed though is we're having a hard issue on growing a lot of things, but when we grow them in other people's yard, since they don't have the dilemma of a big white oak tree in their backyard, it's just hard. Oh, that's how you, okay. I wonder if they're going to stay. Hello, 320 Homestead. Just trying out this live stream. We're going to be going to Missouri to, I think it's called Eagle Rock, Missouri, to Mrs. Naked Gardener's parents' little place out there. I think they're on a 10-acre lot or land, I guess, out there. It's very beautiful and peaceful. And we might even wind up trying to see if we could go to Baker's Creek that day as well, because the Baker's Creek from her parents' house is only about 2.5 hours away. So we might have to drive up there early Saturday morning, see if we can at least do a tour or something of that nature, and grab some seeds, maybe get some seeds ready for our add to our fall collection here. Yeah, I saw some of your trees out there, but you do have I'm not sure if you tracked where your sun flows or not, but during the fall, we get plenty of sun because the sun is at a lower angle. But being the summertime, the sun just basically goes right above the tree. So it's hard for the sunlight to hit. You could tell where different parts of the garden. I wonder if I could take y'all out there. Semi-garden tour. Some of the area where the sun just hits. We try to do a three-sister garden, but the spider mites just killed everything. It's going to be hard doing it this way. Here we go. Yeah, this camera is horrible. So we try to do, I don't even know if y'all can see that. Let's see. No, just still not good. But anyway, right about there, down there, was a 360 garden. Supposed to have corn, squash, watermelon, and beans, but they didn't do too well. And so I put up these little railings. I'm gonna sneak a little gate right there because Sage the cat been trying to chase lizards up into the beds, and that's hasn't been going too well. Get back. Whew, it's hot out there. I just sweated just from being out there for like 2 minutes. But I see I can definitely need to get a better camera on this thing before we do a live feed, our official live feed. Yeah, I'm excited to be. I need to get in touch with Baker's Creek to find out if they are open and they allow people to go in there on Saturdays. Yeah, I think fall gardening is going to be more beneficial for us than the summer garden. I'm not going to plant as many tomatoes or looking forward to a lot of tomatoes during the summer portion of planting. We do have a tomato alley that we're going to be showing y'all on our garden tour here. I think we're going to be posting it tomorrow morning to show you how some of our tomatoes have thrived very well. That's in the ground, and that the ones that are in ground are doing well. However, the ones that aren't in containers aren't doing as well. For the simple fact, the one in the ground are feeding off of the clay soil, which has a lot of nutrients and everything. And we don't really have to do any type of feeding on that. Yeah, our front area gets a lot of sun too. Our front yard looks horrible, and we are trying to add some flowers and making a nice curb appeal, because if you look at our front yard, you would never know that we do any gardening out in the backyard. Oh, that sucks if they're closed on Saturdays. Is this Jerry or Ty? Hey, Texas Life. How was your son's birthday party? Did y'all have? Are you going to do a big one this coming up weekend? Oh, that sucks. So I guess we won't be able to go check them out on Saturday then. Oh well. Hey, get out of that. You've been eating on that onion, huh? It looked like it was going to be a good one. We're empty nesters, even though my kids wants to come up next weekend and everything. My daughter just graduated high school this past May, and she just had a baby and wants to come up and show her teachers the um, the baby and everything. So I told her she could come up and we can do a little cookout and some gardening with them. She normally doesn't like to be out in the backyard because of the bugs and the little rat snakes and stuff. I tricked my son into that when he did with the compost, and on the video I showed him out where he thought was a worm, but it was actually a rat snake that we had to move along. We get a lot of rat snakes in our compost pile. Yeah, make sure you hit the thumbs up. I don't even know where it's at. It's normally down here. I'm not going to be on here too long, just testing it out. I got to figure out now. I'll probably have to do another one next week with the new webcam, because this one is very, very fuzzy. This is from the laptop, so I'm not sure. We are in Texas, North Texas, Zone 8A. Our growing season is very, very long. It really doesn't start. It starts getting cold start cooling off next month normally, but it really doesn't get like officially cold about January, February timeframe. Last year was like February, I believe, where it was like in the 30s constantly. We had a quick frost in November, I think it was last year, but that only lasted about a day or two. Other than that, it went by very, very fast. We're trying to look for some land around here. Yeah. Oh, you're in Texas too, 320? Where at in Texas are you at? Some road cover fleece. Last year I did the plastic, and I didn't like that because it had a lot of my fall garden. It was almost like a humidity dome. Like when I took it off, when it was a little bit too hot, it was just sweating real bad. And then when I had it on there, when it was too cold, it almost fried it. So I think I need to find some road cover fleece as well. Where do you get yours at? Concho County. I'm not sure where that's at. Is that South Texas or Central Texas? We could. Johnny Selected Seeds. Okay. I'm going to try to look at Callaway's if they have some there. I'm not too sure. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell the missus, that she likes the Dallas area. I told her, well, if you want land in Dallas, you're gonna have to pay for it, and you're gonna have to be like Jamaican, have like 15 jobs just to pay it all. But it's more. We found I've been looking like more land that's very cheap in the west area, far west of Texas, south of Texas, and I'm not sure about east of Texas. Yeah. I was thinking about where was this one place that it's like a little bit past Rockwall. I think it might be north of Rockwall. That's called man. I was doing one of my side jobs when I was renovating was we buy a house out there. It was beautiful land out there. San Angelo and Brady. Never heard of Brady. But shoot, I can't think of that name. It's south of is out a little bit past Rockwall, but not past Terrell. I think it might be north of that area. If you know where I'm talking about, John. I don't know. Ask me anything Central Texas and south of there. I could tell you where things are at. Anywhere around the Dallas area, I have no clue. I wonder how live would be on my phone. Northwest Texas, worst place for gardening. Yeah, land is a little bit pricey, but the area out there is gorgeous. We went by. I was installing some cedar fences out there, and the way this one house had it set up, it was like very beautiful. It had like its own barn. Well, it had a barn off to the side, like a two-story barn. I think they had some housing up on top or some office space up top. But that's where I would like to have my shop area separated from the house. Right now, basically taking up the garage. So the Mrs. Naked Garden doesn't like that. She likes to park her car in the garage. I don't know why people have garages in Texas anyway, because it only rains but so often. I think it's mostly for hail damage, but you could get a carport for that. You don't have to worry about cold. But yeah, I noticed that about everywhere north of around this area is the soil is very clay. I went over to that one time we had that bad wind damage a few years back. I went to go fix or try to help fix one of my friends' house up in Cedar, I think Cedar Hope or Cedar Hills area, and the soil out there was very hard. It wasn't clay. It was I want to say almost like limestone. So we had to have them professionally dig a hole for the post there. Oil country, yeah. I think mineral whales or mineral oils, whatever, somewhere west of here. They're like that too. It's very dry. Hello, Celeste. Keep growing in Jesus. Welcome to the test chat. So, sound like that here. So, when the Mrs. Naked Gardener and I do our live stream, if y'all are following us on Instagram, I need to do the post again. We're asking our followers about what assumptions that they have of us. Some of them were pretty funny. One of them was that what was it? If we if we garden naked, and I told them no, it's nothing that we do like that. I'm in Eden, Texas. Uh, Basically, when we talk about naked gardening, it's just all organic. Nothing that we use is chemical based. We try and find natural ways of gardening, pesticide, herbicide, all of that type of stuff. Okay, so you're in the same zone as us. We're in zone 8A. I wish we had had more rain yesterday. That rain was pretty good, but we're feeling it today. It is humid. I was gonna come home from the gym and cut the grass, but I guess I should have did it earlier. North Hampshire. You could take all our humidity. I would like to have some more of that cool rain. It felt real good yesterday till it stopped raining. Backyard, yes, H, and you're in half of south of Abilene. Oh, about an hour and a half. Okay. Yeah, I went up to Abilene one time, and whoo, that was back, I want to say 96, I think, 97. And it was very rural. Yeah. Yeah, I was always wondering if that was Todd or Jerry. Jerry be cracking me up. All right. Yeah. You have a safe, productive day as well. This fall, we're going to try to grow a lot of garlic and onions at our community garden there at Little Elm. This year for fall, we're going to try the kohlrabi again in our garden. The Brussels sprouts, the some onions, garlic, maybe some scapes. Definitely, the missus loves the. We had a volunteer giant red mustard or red giant mustard, whatever it was, from Baker Creek. But we never even opened up the seed. It was a volunteer plant in one of our container pots, and we were just feeding off of that for a while. So we decided to, we didn't think it was able to grow in the summer or through the heat, but it wound up doing very well till we started getting to this month, and it finally went to flower, started to bolt. So we're definitely going to try to grow that. The missus and I want to start learning how to can and fermenting. So we're going to try to do some doing our own kimchi. So we're going to do some Napa cabbage, some purple bok choy, some. We're going to try to sneak some cucumbers in this. See if they can do something for the fall. A lot of peas and what else we're going to grow? A lot of lettuces, cabbage, definitely some collard greens. We've been collard green was a big hit for us last year. We grew about 8 of those. I got a book my daughter, my wife's daughter, got for me for Christmas. It tells you how many plants to plant per vegetable that's in your household. So uh, we've been trying to go off of that this year, and we're going to be trying to grow a lot of brassicas. Oh, and purple carrot or cosmic carrot. We grew those by mistake last year, where it was a variety packing, so we just planted them all in there. And out of all of them, the purple was the best one. Red was the second best one. It just was so sweet. So we're going to try to grow some of more of those kind of carrots, watermelon radishes, and regular the French breakfast radish. And I'm going to try to sneak some beets in there. The missus doesn't like beets, but I think they'll be good for juicing, or if not pickling. My daughter loves pickled beets, so at least somebody will be eating them. I'm not sure what else that we're growing. We're going to be starting either today or tomorrow doing our seeds. What are you growing, John? My Mario. Moonday, Texas. I think I've heard of that place before. Oh, I miss somebody who's Brad. I was talking. What are all y'all growing this fall? Are you going to do the hydroponics? I think I'm going to clean out my hydroponic tote and try to grow a some tiny Tims out of the hydroponics. Oh, I forgot about kale. Can't forget about the kale. We enjoyed kale so much this year. Never heard of perennial kale. I want to try that. I think it's called Ethiopian kale, and I think I want a tree kale. I want to try some of those. Yeah, we definitely had some setbacks. We're definitely going to be cutting down a lot of stuff today out of our beds. We're going to get rid of a lot of our tomatoes. I almost started cutting down our eggplants, but we just had two flowers off of them, so we're going to decide to keep those. Kaleidoscope kale. Okay. And my okra, for some reason, all the leaves was cut off of all the Clemson one, and but the red burgundy kale, those are still kind of string along. They haven't had much pods on there, only about 1 or 2 pods per day, if that. But I think I'm going to get rid of those if they don't start doing anything by the end of this month, at least. Hey, get out of there. What are you doing? So a lot of that's going to get replaced with some lettuces, some brassicas and stuff. Yeah, our sunflower got hit. Well, a lot of our stuff that didn't get hit with the heat also got hit with spider mites. Spider mites killed our sunflowers this year. Yeah, one of my friends in Arizona, he does a lot of hydroponics. He has a hydroponic greenhouse and it has a cycling system or something like that. And I'm like, how are you growing all of that stuff in Hot Tail, Arizona? And I'm struggling over here in Texas. But I want to go out there and visit him to find out how he does his filter system, interchanging cool temperature water filter, whatever he calls it. But definitely want to check that out. Okay, come in. Yeah, it's going to be real hot out here today. I'll probably have to just cut the grass later on this evening whenever it gets cool around 11 o'clock at night. Sorry, cutes and container we have yet to form. Yeah, I tried the cucamelons because everybody was talking about cucamelons last year. So I tried to grow them and they've been vining up pretty decent, but and I'll get like a little flower on one of them, and then we go back there and look out the next 2 days, and they're gone. So we don't know what's been going on with the cucamelons. We're going to try them one more time next year just to see how see how well those grow. I'm gonna Yeah, they and the bad thing about it is when I injured my arm when the missus left to go see her son in Seattle, we didn't get to plant a lot of our stuff in the ground till like June, April, May, about May time frame. And so that kind of put us like 2 months behind. And so and our cucumbers, I've made the mistake of putting some used coffee grounds I got from Starbucks on there, and they fried my bush cucumbers. So I know not to do that anymore. So I did another cucumber, but closer to the archway. I try to grow. They can be perennial here if you mulch the roots here. For the cucamelons, definitely mulch those in. I try not to mulch in our raised bed because it leaves a mess when I'm trying to transplant things. But I see around here it's definitely necessary, no matter what soil you have. The Okay, I'll try that out. The We try to grow peas and beans on one of our back trellises, but I guess the birds are more courageous around that area than up in the front trellis area, and they've been picking the beans off of that. So I know I can't grow any beans on the back trellis. I'm going to have to grow them in the front trellis or around the perimeter of the. Y'all probably see it on the garden tour tomorrow on the fence, the small little fence that we did. We don't have much problem with the grasshopper. The only bugs that we have here are the cicadas, the spiders, and I think that's really about it. The cicadas and spiders, and besides the natural pests of like the leaf miners and the aphids and stuff like that. But we'll probably start getting some those white flies in the next 2 or 3 months when it gets a little bit cooler. That's the only bug that we really have to pay attention to, and still some aphids if we let our greens get out control. But I think that's why I like the fall garden. Fall garden, we really don't have much of a spring to be doing spring garden because that happens so fast. Yeah, I guess because we got a lot of geckos and lizards, they probably eat them. Yeah, those aphids are horrible, and I'm trying. I've been trying to be diligent this year on keeping all the leaf miners and the aphids and stuff off of the out of the backyard, which I've been doing very well. It's just now once you get control of something, something else happened. Like I said, those spider mites just destroyed a lot of our plants, flowers, especially some of our flowers. They kill the cows. Well, we don't have any cows besides me, so I think I'm gonna try this next week on my phone. See how it does on my phone. I think the phone will be a lot clearer if I don't get a new webcam. So what all y'all are growing for the fall? Y'all excited about the fall? No, we don't got any big old banana spider. Now, what I've done since we've been having those issues of the spider's mite is I've been spraying peppermint oil, lemongrass oil, and some organic dishwashing soap into a bottle, and I've been spraying the backyard with that. Uh, some Oh yeah, we did have a few tomato hornworms, and they were real bad this year. We didn't have them that bad last year, but so I'll know about the spider mites come next year to start spraying and preparing for those in July, so that way we don't get devastated hit with them because they kill a lot of the. I think I could bring them back to life because they're perennials. They devastated our lavender and our rosemary plants, and y'all will see some of the videos of when I built the Mrs. Nickel Garden that ladder rack. It killed some of that. There's something on the top plant. I forgot what it was. Mexican something. The two top plants and some of the rosemary. It killed. I'm trying to. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring it back to life. Natural light helps a ton as well to clear images. Yeah, I was. Let me see. That's the only bad thing about our house is naturally dark. Is that better? A little bit better. A flamethrower. I'll rent the flamethrower from you. That's what I feel like I wanted to do this month. Wonder if I'll be on this side. Would that be better? Oh, that's a little bit better. Oh, it's a little bit better. It's just the camera still sucks. Yeah, those when I saw those spiders from Jerry and Todd's thing, I was like, holy crap, I almost fell off the treadmill watching it this morning. I don't know about pooping that bad, but I know when we had a snake, I don't know what kind of snake it was. We had just moved into our house, back into our house when we that tornado hit back in 2015, and they didn't seal off the hose bib just yet, and the snake was crawling through the cracks of the brick and was trying to go into the house. I was like, oh man. So I had to get the quickest thing. I think I had like a shovel or a garden hoe and was almost trying to chop its head off. I didn't want to kill it, but I didn't want it to get in the house either. Yeah, I don't mind spiders. It's just I don't want them in the house. I know they have their natural things that they do for the garden. That's the only reason why I let them stay in the garden. We didn't have that many bees this year. We had those what we call, I guess somebody told us from Instagram there was a wood bee, because I thought it was strange that how a bee was like completely black, and they were saying it was a wood bee. We always get wasps here, so I didn't have bad squash bugs like everybody else. And my dad at my parents' house, he didn't have bad squash bugs either. Mustard, turnips, and lettuce. Yes, I love mustard greens. I love collard greens. My dad loves turnip greens. Hey, all-purpose mom. 320 Homestead, the spider mites devastated the lavender and rosemary. I was mad about it because I got it on sale at the local nursery here, mom and pop nursery. They were cheaper than Lowe's and Home Depot and better quality. And so I got 4 of them for like I think it was like $8, $9 or something like that. And I planted 2 lavenders on the outside of this little planter box and a rosemary in the middle of it. And then about 2 weeks later, it just started dying. I was like, what in the world? And then a week later, I just started seeing how it had fuzz from the webs and stuff like that. It was from the spider mites. I was like, oh. So I had to wash it off and prune it down to the almost bare root, just for it to. It's one of them's coming back up to life already, but the other one probably won't be back till spring or maybe the fall. Who knows? Oh, thanks, all purpose mom. You're a rock star. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. If y'all don't know all purpose mom, she's out in Arizona and growing a lot of stuff. She doesn't have, well, I don't know how she doesn't have a problem with the heat like we are out in Texas, but she's doing awesome. Go check her out. Yeah, she's gonna probably go jump in that pool. Me and Mrs. Naked Garden might have to come visit you one summer. No, not summer. It would probably have to be like a winter if y'all ever get a winter, because I flew the kids. Me and the kids flew through there one night. It was 1 o'clock at night and it was 102 degrees at night. I was like, who can live like this? Ugh. 320 Homestead said, I wanted to plant more fall garden plants. I need raised beds. I have a greenhouse, but I got to set up our greenhouse. Probably I'm going to set it up in September or October. You don't really need a raised bed. You can also do containers. Just if possible. Um, that's how we started out, is in containers. We started out regular containers, then we moved to the fabric containers. And if you do any containers, I'll suggest doing fabric containers because those are amazing. You don't have to worry about root bound or anything. They prune the roots once the air touches the outer fabric of the container. They prune itself, so your roots always getting oxygen. That's one thing I loved about that. We grew some Brussels sprouts last year. We grew 4 of them. We grew 2 Brussels sprouts in the raised bed, and we grew 2 Brussels sprouts in the fabric containers. And those in the fabric containers grew a lot faster, and the bulbs of the Brussels sprouts was a lot bigger as well. Greenhouse is too hot. Yeah, especially Louisiana. I bet you it is too hot out there. Yeah. I need to go to Tractor Supply again. Yeah, spider mites. They killed a lot of our flowers. Our garden mom. We had some violas, some Johnny Up violas, some sunflowers, our marigolds. Even they got a hold of our marigolds and killed some of those off. Our asters and I can't think of the other one that I like. Zinnias, our zinnias. They devastate all our zinnias. I had to go to the nursery just to go buy some zinnias. Or zinnias, however y'all pronounce them. My plants are I've noticed about volunteer plants are, where's TSC? The volunteer plants, for some reason, they do a lot better. Like our volunteer tomatoes and our volunteer giant red mustard did very well. And our volunteer parsley, I think it was parsley or cilantro. I had to move it out the way anyway because of the bed. Oh, and so those did very well. No, you haven't said that you hate cows, 320 Homestead. Which Tractor Supply did you go to? Did you go to the one in Mesquite, or is there one near your area? All right, Todd, bless you. Stay safe, be blessed. I'll probably be on here about another 5-10 minutes. Mexican tarragon, yes, that's what it was on the top right. I think top right. It was Mexican tarragon that the spider mite got to. I was able to somewhat save it. It's still looked like it hasn't done anything bad lately in Canton. Oh, okay. Yeah, probably that's where I got my cattle panels from for Tractor Supply. We went up to this one place out in McKinney trying to go get a cattle panel, and it was a little bit expensive, and the drive was, of course, horrible from where we're at. Wrote a book and awesome info about the food web and how to fix the soil. Yeah, we're going to be definitely going to fix our soil this year or this fall after the fall season. I got some compost already. One bed is just about ready. Another bed should be ready by, I want to say, middle September. And we're just going to just layer our beds over that during the end of the season. And then now that we have a worm farm, we're just going to start just putting castings all in there throughout all the beds. And I am going to be, before we transplant anything in our beds, we're going to do, I got a soil kit or test soil kit from Home Depot, I think it was. And so I'm going to test out the soil just to make sure that the soil pH level and everything is correct, because even though you're feeding your plants the correct nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, if your soil isn't at the correct pH that your plant needs, it won't be able to take up that nutrient. So we just want to make sure that everything that we plan is in there. Are y'all going to be doing a compost bin, John? The book I already learned from my grandma long ago. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I want to. That's one thing I want to do is definitely have a larger compost bin. Yeah, I should have covered up my worm bin yesterday when I left, because when I came back, I saw some birds around it, and I think it probably pecked a few of them out. Only saw about 3 off the bat, so that was I might have to order some more, but at least we have some in our worm tower bed. But there's a place out in Texas, I think it's Dallas area, that has a worm farm, has a huge worm farm business, and I want to go check that out. Scotty might know. My city is a bit picky though. Hey Scotty, how is your city picky about composting area? I know we were trying to, since North Texas is a alleyway home. Basically, you have your houses, no garages in the front of you. You can't see any of the garages in the front. You have to alley to go through. And we had our compost pile on the side of our house. And I guess either the neighbor or the city, when the city came out, they didn't like that we had a compost bin right there. And so we had to move it into underneath our tree in our backyard. So I want to know what kind of issues that you had with composting and with the city that you're at. Can you play music on live streams? I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube. Yeah, I was talking about a fence. What a fence will help with? Did I miss something? Is the fence off area? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. I remember our second year in gardening, we did composting in a tote, in a little, I think it was like a 20-gallon tote bucket. And that was pretty interesting. That got filled up very fast, so we couldn't use that anymore. We went from a small tote to getting the piles that we have now. And then we went from one pile to now having 2 piles. Now we're about to have probably starting a 3rd pile come this fall. We went to the Taste of Dallas, and we ran into some microbreweries that give out their hops, their used hops, spent hops to people, but you have to call them out in about 2 days in advance, give them at least 2 days in advance before going there, and they give you however much that you need. They give them out to a lot of the gardeners to use for composting or for top dressing, whatever it may be. Missed something else on here. All right, 320 Homestead. Catch you later. Have a safe trip in San Angelo, as long as it's royalty. Okay, I just won't do it then. Getting a tiny house? That's all your work to be. Good luck with that. I'm too big for a tiny house. I would die. I need my room. I had to get a California king size bed just so Mrs. Naked Gardener wouldn't push me off the bed so much. And she's tiny. Yeah, I would do possibly a worm farm. Broke. I don't know if you go by Scotty or Broke Urban Farm, but I would possibly do a worm farm. Yeah, definitely try to go to we go to a lot of Starbucks, and we have a friend out in from church. She has a tea shop in Rockwall. We get some of her spent teas and coffee grinds as well, and I add it to my compost when I see it needs to be heated up a little bit, and we don't have any nitrogen to food waste to add to it. What's going on, Opie? I need to get with you one day this week, Opie, about some of those things you have on your page, the different venues and stuff. It looks pretty interesting. Scotty is fine. Okay. Yeah, I would check with some worm farming or trying to use a tote. I'm not sure how much food waste that y'all use. We do a lot of food waste because we do a lot of plant-based eating. We're not vegans, but we just practice vegans, I guess you can say. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, Opie, your channel should be booming. I love watching your channel. I don't see how your channel isn't higher than what it is already. If y'all don't know about anything about Brew City Gardener, check him out. He does a lot of hay bale gardening, and I'm going to try to do it next year. Actually, I'm going to try to do it at my parents' house, since we don't really have anything anywhere else to garden here at our backyard. But he does a lot of interesting tutorials on hay bale gardening and stuff. It's very interesting, and I'm shocked at how you can grow that much vegetables in hay. It's a process though, so it's something I'm going to have to do with my dad. I'm not sure. We only try to go out to visit him once a month, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do that, possibly with this new job project. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that, but we'll see. Well, all right, y'all. This was just supposed to be a test thing. I see what some things I need to fix in here, some lighting and the camera, web camera. I'm going to fix those before our main live feed. And then until then, I guess we'll be prepared. If you haven't already, check out our Instagram page. I put the links down below. We're gonna do a questionnaire again of what do y'all assume what do y'all assume about me and Mrs. Naked Gardener. Check that out. We'll put another post on there later on. Yeah, we're about to go to Texas Julie. I hope y'all be able to make it out not next Saturday, but the last Saturday. We're going to start doing our live streams every last Saturday of each month. Like John said, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. And I guess until then, let's grow together.